Everybody, it's been a long day. We were gone most of the day doing this, that, and the other, and finally got home. I'm wicked tired. Not going to be much of a video tonight. I'm just checking in with y'all. And ran into quite a bit of rain on the highway, which was good. I think we got some here as well. That's always good. So on that note, I'm going to go in and I'm going to close the chicken's door over here. They won't be going to bed yet, but I'm going to close their door. Then I'm going to give Emma her supper and put her in bed. On the way home, we stopped at Home Depot. Home Depot, I don't really like Home Depot, but one thing that I do like, is that they will sell you a partial sheet of plywood. And so I bought a sheet of plywood, 2 foot by 4 foot, 1/4 inch Lawan plywood, and I'm going to cut it to size. And those chickens have been pecking at that side door that I use as an awning. And I'm going to take that piece of white material off and cut this sheet of plywood to size. And I'm going to put it on instead. That'll make that a lot safer for them. In fact, if you listen, you can hear them pecking at it. These chickens are already in bed. I wish the other ones were in bed already. Yeah, we got 4 eggs today. The girls are slowing down now. So the girls are starting to slow down, the Rhode Islands that is. And you know what? That's fine. This is their 3rd year, I believe, of laying eggs. And they're right on schedule to slow down. And that's fine with me. They've done a good job. So 4 eggs, that's enough for us. We're not doing any baking. So that'll be perfect. In the car today, Danielle and I were talking about some of our projects that we might like to do for, well, just that we would like to do inside during the colder months. And I'm thinking about a couple of sewing projects, but I want to do a lot of spinning. I'm going to have a lot of flax that I want to spin. So it's going to be a spin marathon next to the wood stove. But at the same time, I do like to make soup and make bread and do a lot of cooking also. So, I heard a frog jump in the redding tub. But I'm thinking of some of the things I might want to make sewing wise. I think I'd like to make another shift, and I think I've got the material to make a petticoat. So these are all things I want to do on camera. Petticoats, all these sewing projects take days, if not weeks, to do. So it would be like what I call my long form videos, and I've got 2 or 3 started right now in the background that you all don't even know about. Well, you know about the flax one, and in fact the redding should be done in a few days. Then we can dry the flax again, and then we can start the breaking and the scutching and the hackling process. But that comes later. So yeah, there's the flax project, there's my wild lettuce tincture project that I started, and there was another one. I already published the nettle one. The nettle video is not that popular, and I understand, you know, it's just something I did for myself. But there's another video that I've got started, and I can't, but it doesn't matter. But I want to make that petticoat. I want to show you guys how I make my t-shirts. I made my own pattern, and I'm going to make one of those. I'm going to make a shift, and oh yeah, I want to make, I don't know if you all have heard of, see, this right here is a cap. This is an 18th century style cap. It's really kind of a conservative one, but I wear a cap just about all the time for my own personal reasons. And but there was a person in the 18th century who I've done a lot of research on. Her name was Phyllis Wheatley. You might want to Google her name. You'd probably come to the Wikipedia page on her. Very interesting person. She was an African slave. She came over right around 1755, and when she was about 8 years old, and went to the slave auctions, I believe in Rhode Island, and the Wheatleys purchased her. John Wheatley was a merchant, and I think in Connecticut, and he purchased this Negro female slave to be of help for his wife. Now, remember, this is a northern state, and the northern states where not many people had slaves, and the few wealthy people who did have slaves did not own very many. So John Wheatley purchased this female slave to be of help to his wife, Suzanne. And turned out that John Wheatley's wife, they named this slave Phyllis because that was the name of the ship she came over from Africa on, and they gave her their last name. So her name was Phyllis Wheatley. And by the age of 12 for Phyllis, they had already taught her Greek, Latin, English, and I think there's another language. They taught her how to thoroughly read and write, and Phyllis started writing poetry. Now her poetry was so well received that the Wheatleys wanted to send. There was a woman in England who got a hold of one of Phyllis Wheatley's books because she published a book on poetry. I read a couple of her poems. Interesting. But so this woman was going to try to help Phyllis with her career. And anyway, that didn't work out, so she came back to America to be with the Wheatleys. Well, she eventually got her manumission, which is a term, that's when you are able to buy out your slavery. You are, manumitted. And so she was a free woman. In fact, in the state of Massachusetts, they had outlawed the owning of slavery by 1782 anyway, and that was pretty much the way it was in many of the northern states. The ownership of slave was pretty much a southern thing, I guess because they needed the labor for cotton. But anyway, there is one portrait of Phyllis Wheatley. Now, if you do Google her name, it'll take you to the Wikipedia entry for Phyllis Wheatley, and there is a portrait of her. The artist was a black man, I forget his name, and that's the only known portrait of Phyllis Wheatley that we have. So, in that portrait, she's wearing a cap, and that cap I'm really very interested in, and this winter I'm going to try to make an exact copy the best I can from that portrait of that cap. It's a lot different from this one. This is really a very like a Pennsylvania area cap from the 1780s, And we make this style, Danielle and I, simply because it's not more flamboyant. It's rather conservative. So that's why we wear this type of a cap. Danielle doesn't wear one as much as me, but I wear one just about all the time. And but Phyllis Wheatley's cap, I'm going to try to make an exact duplicate of it as best I can. One of the things that makes it interesting is that it's got a series of ribbon bows around the band. And I've made a lot of caps, but I've never seen one that has those bow ribbons. It's probably getting kind of dark. I think the other chickens have gone in. So that's enough history for now. Oh, I love American history. I also love Russian history too. But that's enough for now. I'm going to head back to the house. I'm wicked tired. And hope to get a good night's sleep. So I'll get this thing edited and try to put it up. These videos, like the ones that are around 12, 13 or so minutes, these things, believe it or not, from the time I click upload, it takes about 12 hours for these things to, so if it's almost, what, it's almost 7:30, it's right around 7:30 now, it'll probably take me a half an hour to throw this thing together and get ready to upload. So from 8 o'clock, it may not be up until 8 o'clock in the morning. I try to have my daily videos, which is when I'm actually showing you something of interest. I try to have those done in the morning so that I can edit them during lunch or whatever. And then I can begin the upload process right around 4 or 5 in the afternoon, so that then I get out of bed around 4 or 5, just because I have to push one last button, because they have to check it for a bunch of things. I hit one last button to publish it, and that's right around 5 o'clock is what I try for. So, but this one's going to be late. Anyway, you don't care about YouTube. So, I shouldn't either. Okay, well that's about it, so I'll catch you on the next one. We have company coming in for a few days, going to stay with us. And so we'll see what I can do for videos. I'm going to be working on firewood tomorrow. And if I can get in a full day of firewood, I should be able to finish this batch. And then it's stacking the firewood, cleaning the wood stove chimney, and digging the last of the potatoes. Gosh, it's getting pretty dark. I better get going. So I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.